everybody, my name is Holly. Thank you for joining me for today's yoga. Today's flow is going to be a super easy seated stretch. This is a practice that is suitable for all levels, so even complete beginners. You may like to use props like a block or maybe a cushion to help poses feel a little bit more comfortable. And we are going to start today in sitting on our heels for our centering. So option here, you can sit on a block, especially if your knees and ankles feel a bit uncomfortable sitting like this, or if that is still uncomfortable, then you're just welcome to sit cross-legged. So you can rest your hands wherever is comfortable. I'm going to rest them one palm on top of the other in my lap. And just try and find length in the spine, but let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. And you can close the eyes here or lower the gaze. Just taking this moment to center ourselves and bring the focus inwards. Starting to let go of any thoughts. Letting go of the day you've had so far. And taking our inhales and exhales through the nose. Inhaling fully. Exhaling completely. And taking this time to check in with the body, check in with the mind, how you're feeling. Noticing if you're holding any areas of tension. And with every exhale, just let that tension go. Taking one more round of breath. And then from here, we're going to bring our knees out a bit wider than we might normally do in child's pose with our big toes together. And we're going to take a variation of thread the needle. So we're going to bring our right shoulder underneath us and underneath the left arm. Maybe bringing our forehead to the mat, or if it feels a little bit more comfortable, you can bring the side of your head down on the mat. Just taking a moment here, feeling that stretch into the right shoulder, into the right shoulder blade. Sinking those hips down. And then bringing that left hand underneath the shoulders, lift the chest. We'll go straight to the opposite side. So we're going to bring our left arm underneath us, underneath the right arm, bring the right arm out in front of us. Maybe you're bringing your forehead down to the mat, or you can bring the side of the face down onto the mat. Feeling the stretch this time into the left shoulder and the left shoulder blade. And then bringing the right hand underneath us, lifting the chest. We'll bring the knees back together. We'll interlace the fingers, push the palms away from us, lift those arms up towards the ceiling, lift up out of the waist. And exhale, flip the hands so the knuckles face forward, round through the upper back. Inhaling, push the palms away, reach up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, knuckles come forward, round through the upper back. And then coming into a neutral spine, we'll come to cross at the ankles and sit cross-legged. On an inhale, we're going to reach our arms up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, take our right hand down to the mat, left arm reaches up and over, taking a side body stretch, keeping that left hip connected with the mat. Opening up down the left side, feeling those ribs expand. Inhale, come back through to center, both arms up towards the ceiling. This time taking our left hand onto our right knee, right fingertips behind us. Inhale, lift up out the waist. Exhale, draw that belly in towards the spine as we take our twist. Maybe you're taking your gaze over this right shoulder. And then inhale to come back through to center, reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we're taking a fold, bringing our hands down onto the floor in front of us, creeping them forward, find length in the spine here. With every inhale, we find length. With every exhale, we let go and release. Back in towards us as we lift the chest. We'll swap the legs over so the opposite shin is now in front. Inhale to reach our arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, this time take the left hand down to the ground beside us, right arm reaches up and over, taking that side body stretch. Keep that right hip down. On an inhale, come back through to center, both arms up. This time taking our right hand onto our left knee, left fingertips behind us, taking that twist. Draw the belly in towards the spine. And then coming back through to center, reaching both arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take our folds, bringing our hands down in front of us, creeping them forward, finding length in the spine. And then walking our hands back in towards us as we lift the chest. This time we'll take to cactus arm, so bending at the elbows. Inhale to open across the chest, drawing those shoulder blades together. Exhale to round, bring the forearms together, rounding through the back. Inhaling as we lift. Exhaling to round. Inhale to open. Exhale, bring the forearms together. One more time, inhaling. And exhaling. Into a neutral spine. We're going to bring our right leg out long and keeping our left heel in towards us. We're going to bring the right hand to the inside of the right leg, reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. On an exhale, we're going to take the right hand down the inside of that right leg as the left arm reaches up and over, taking another side body stretch. Don't worry if your fingers are nowhere near the toes, that's not the goal. You want to keep the chest open, left shoulder rolling back. Inhale to come back through to center. This time we're going to bring the left leg out long and we're going to bend into the right knee, bring the heel in towards us. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left leg, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, and then on an exhale, take that left hand on the inside of the left leg, right arm reaches up and over, taking that side body stretch. To come back through to center, lift the chest. This time we're going to bring both legs out wide, so we're going to bring the right leg out wide. You may want to bring one hand in front of you, one hand behind you to scoot yourselves forward. You want to flex through the feet, so your toes and your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Now you may be getting a nice stretch into the inner thighs. This might be enough for you if you'd like to go a little bit deeper. You bring your hands down onto the floor in front of you, creep them forward, finding length in the spine here. As soon as you start to round or feel that nice deep stretch, you pause. get yourselves flat to the floor and hold on to your big toes. Back in towards us as we lift the chest. And from here we're going to take a bend into the knees and bring the soles of the feet together. Coming into Baddha Konasana. So option here, you can have your heels far away from your sitting bones, or you can bring them a little bit closer and let the knees fall out wide. Option to also sit in a block and elevate the hips. You may want to bring your fingertips behind you and opening up across the chest, or you may like to take a fold, to bring your hands down in front of you and creeping the hands forward, noticing how this feels in the hips. Hands back in towards us, and then bring your hands to the outside of the thighs and gently bring them back in towards each other. And we're going to bring our legs out long. We're just going to come into a seated fold, so feel grounded through the sitting bones. Reach the arms up overhead, lift up out of the waist, exhale, hinge from the hips. Bring your hands wherever is comfortable. Keep a bend in those knees if you need to, if the hamstrings are feeling tight. Towards us as we lift the chest. We're going to take a bend into the right knee and we're going to bring it on top of the left knee, bringing the heel of the right foot to the outside of the hip. So we're coming into half cow face pose. If you can come into full cow face pose, you're going to bend into the left knee and bring the left heel to the outside of the right hip. So with our right knee on top, we're going to lift the left arm up, take a bend into the left arm and bring the palm onto the upper back. You may just want to hold the left elbow with the right hand, or bring the right hand behind you, bend in at the elbow and maybe catching a hold of your fingers. Making sure that you're not collapsing the chest in order to interlace the fingers. Keep that chest lifted. And then exhaling to release the arms. Releasing both legs out long. Leaving the right leg out long, take a bend into the left knee. We're bringing the left knee on top of the right knee with the left heel to the outside of the right hip. Option to just stay here in half cow face pose, or you can bend into the left knee, bring the left heel to the outside, right heel to the outside of the left hip. So this time the left knee is on top. Reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, taking a bend into the elbow, bringing that palm onto the upper back. Option to hold onto the elbow with the left hand, or take a bend into the left hand, bringing it behind you, interlacing the fingers. Exhaling as we release the hands, and bringing the legs out long, and then scooting ourselves forward so we got enough room behind us. Plant the soles of the feet, bend into the knees, bring the arms out long in front of us, and slowly with control we're going to roll all the way down the spine until we bring our shoulders and back of the head onto the mat. And then maybe bring our heels a little bit closer in towards us. With your arms down long, you might be able to brush the back of the heels with your fingertips, and we'll move through some bridge rolls. On an inhale, lift the hips, roll all the way up the spine. Bring the chest in towards the chin, engage the glutes and hamstrings to keep the hips lifted. Upper body is relaxed. Being mindful not to let those knees splay out wide. On an exhale, we'll slowly roll all the way down the spine until we bring our hips back down onto the mat. On our next inhale, we'll do another one. Lift the hips, roll all the way up the spine. Chest comes in towards the chin. Exhaling, roll all the way down the spine until we bring our hips back down onto the mat. And then we'll just take our knees from side to side, releasing the lower back. And then bringing our left leg out long, we're going to bring our right knee in towards the chest, interlace the fingers around that leg, draw that knee in a little bit closer towards you. If you want to take a little crunch, we're going to take, on an exhale, we're going to bring out our forehead and nose up towards the knee. Hold it here. Exhaling, release the shoulders and back of the head back down. Bring the right leg out long. Bring the left knee in towards the chest, interlace the fingers around that knee, draw that knee a little bit closer in towards you. You can stay here or you can take a crunch. So on an exhale, bring in your nose and forehead up towards the knee, hold it here. Exhaling, release the shoulders and back of the head down onto the mat. Bring the right knee in to meet the left knee, wrap the arms around the shins. Rock gently from side to side, massaging that lower back into the mat. And then we'll bring our arms out at shoulder height, or cactus the arms if you don't quite have the room. From here we're going to take a twist, but I'm not twisting at the moment. So just listen to my cues. On an exhale, you will drop your knees down to the left as your gaze comes over to the right. You can put a block underneath your left knee if it's not quite coming down onto the floor, or maybe taking your left hand into a fist and place it underneath the knee to make the pose feel more comfortable. Make sure both shoulders stay on the mat. On our next inhale, bringing our knees back through to center. On an exhale, you're going to drop your knees down to the right as your gaze comes over to the left. Making any adjustments that you need to with the legs to make the pose feel more comfortable. Breathing into the lower back. Using our core, we're going to bring our knees back through to center. And then holding on to the backs of the thighs, you can rock yourselves up to sitting, or you can roll to one side and use your hands to support you up to a seated position. And resting the hands on the knees. And just taking a moment here to see how the body feels. Bringing our palms together at heart center. Give yourselves a thank you for making time to get on the mat today, and I hope you enjoyed this gentle seated stretch. Bowing forehead to fingertips. Thank you. I'll see you next time.